You ever had that feeling that you just got caught with your pants down? Because I missed the intro and hit background on the cover here, and I realized, oh, sugar plum, we're God damn it live from the RideShare Garage. Welcome everybody back another Wednesday night, and Omar said already. That's awesome. That's awesome. Listen, we got to do something right off the rip. I want to get this out of the way already. Can I? Let's just get it out of the way right now. Okay. We got the background out of the way. Okay. Is everybody okay now? Are we good? We good with the background? Are we done now? Okay, there you go. What's going on, guys? How's everybody doing out there? We got Brandon. Brandon is going to be the first Chicago Kia EV9 Uber Black driver in existence. He thinks he's going to be a black driver. He's going to be more like a shared comfort driver on a business platform in that black Kia. But Brandon, how
Uh,
you doing?
hey, it feels great, to be able to spend $61,000 next year. When it's, I can spend $1,000 less and get a Cadillac Lyric. Why would I do that?
Because you're Brandon. Because you're Brandon.
Exactly.
That's why.
No shit.
Because you'll do it for science, as Omar likes to say.
That I will.
Okay. All right. Well, anyway, below him is Steven, aka Black Vinny, aka the Unbroken Driver, also known as the Unbroken Asset. And did I get that right? The Unbroken
That's
Asset.
right.
And the
Right?
CEO of the Unbroken Clinic, which is in the south side of Chicago.
There's a lot of unbroken going on over there, huh? A lot of unbroken going on over there.
I'm not responsible for that one.
How you doing, Steven? How's everything going tonight?
Man, I was just knocked out over there. I looked up. I was like, 3 minutes left. I can make it.
I thought you were going to work.
I was. Now, my wife made me some stuff,
Oh, that's what it is. Omar, he's got it made, bro. He's got it made. He's get the dinner. He got his clothes washed.
Look, she made home like Salisbury steak and whatnot. Got the corn and all that. Look,
You about to have a full coma live on air, bro.
On air. On air. But here's the question, Steven. What does she want in return? Is there like a broken window? Or does it
no.
painting? Because the only time you get food good for you is when they want something. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay, that's all I'm gonna say. All right. And next to him, we got Mr. Omar, Mr. Drive By O. We're gonna have some interesting conversations with him tonight. I think we're gonna have some interesting conversations with him tonight. It might get a little hostile, but just remember one thing, y'all. Me and Omar are good friends. We got a fuck you, love you, hate relationship. So it works out good for us. Although I got to mention, Omar shocked me today. Omar absolutely shocked me today. Y'all.
Wait, is that a Luxbuck XL ride?
I had a lot of them last week for your information.
No, here's the thing, bro. Here's the thing.
I got a select ride this morning.
Omar is a pretty damn good mechanic, from what I hear. Okay? But
Isn't he Hispanic?
And that was
Okay.
racist as fuck. That was so racist, bro.
He's kind of imported, but not from another country. Well, New York, if you count New York as another country. But no, he. So I called to ask him. I got a check engine light on my CTS, and I called to see if Omar had a OBD2 reader, scan code reader, and guess what? Omar doesn't have one. So now I know why it takes him 12 weeks to change a tire, because he don't have a code scanner to read. But I will actually have one he can borrow as of tomorrow. It'll be here. Thank you, Amazon. Anyway. Okay, guys, I'm going to let you guys open up the floor, and then I'm going to get into my my topic for the night. Is pretty much this. We were talking about this yesterday, Stephen. It was yesterday. Have we seen the best of what RideShare will ever be? Like, you know how you got a roof, you got a pitched roof, and you got an apex at the top? Well, it seems like the roof was pitched for about 10 days back in 2015, and it's been downhill ever since. So the question for the group that I have is, have we seen the best? Not what we can make it work, but have we gotten the best that these apps are going to give us, offer us? I'll start with Omar tonight. Omar, what do you think, buddy?
I feel like okay. I feel like when we have these discussions, it triggers a certain um, Lyft representative. So we'll be on the lookout for that. And it's funny. I had a similar question to this about like getting a W-2 job, and I guess we could talk about that later, maybe. But that leads into the whole discussion of have we seen the best of this? And my answer would be yes, which is leading me to think, crap, time for a W-2 job again. Yeah, yeah. I mean, it was so like Kathy Wood. She always uses this terminology about like uh, tech that's pushing boundaries or technology tech that's disruptive. That's what she used to call Uber, disruptive tech or whatever it's called, right? And she's big on those types of companies. I'm big on Kathy Woods. I think she's a genius. Um, Even though she's criticized a lot. That's what geniuses usually are. They're criticized a lot. So yeah, I think we have seen the best of it. When it was disruptive, when it was we're trying to get people to do something that's illegal, or we didn't have a license, or whatever the case was, how we were operating in this quasi, you know, semi way of like we were a taxi, we weren't a taxi, we're on demand, we're not on demand. I remember when we first operated down here, there was a fight with Broward County, and remember many, Uber back then had balls. They actually turned the app off. I wish they would go back to doing that to any place that threatens them with like Prop 22 and all this other stuff. I would have loved to seen Uber turn off in California, 100%. Even though I know that we hurt some drivers out there, I think it would hurt people more, people that need it more. That's what happened here. There was a mini revolution by the Broward County residents and Miami-Dade residents to say, "Hey, we need this service. Yep. It's been really helpful for us." So yeah, once I'm not sure what it was, but obviously we know what the end game is. It's a race to the bottom, and with with all the recent announcements that we've had, recently about they have more drivers than they actually have requests. I mean, I think they've achieved their end game. Well, if you want to go like Agenda 22, I don't want to use the C word, but you know where I'm going with this. There's probably stages to their end game, and they're deep in their end game now. They've got more drivers and they've got more supply than there's demand. So, now they're going hard after all the EV people, right?
Mm-hmm.
You've been saying it, Vinny, like, they're gonna take away that $1 thing, whatever it is that they're, soon they'll have enough, Teslas and whatnot. They'll have that fleet. And hell, I mean, I don't know who spilled the beans for Brandon in Chicago, but something pushed Chicago to have more, live replays, right? Like all the different places where there's something good goes away. And down here, we had it good too with Lux. Now it's Premier. We had Lux SUV. Now it's Premier. So
It's definitely interesting. And I remember that one time when I had first started, I had one of the City of Hollywood commissioners in the car on an X ride, and he was like, "Oh my God, it's so good to have you guys. So much better than the taxis. Yada yada yada. Better cars, better people." Well, I couldn't speak to the people part, but I could definitely speak to the car part. So yeah, okay, all right, Steven, what do you think, bro? Do you think we've seen the best that Uber and Lyft is going to actually be able to offer us as drivers for their platforms?
To offer us as drivers, yes. Like like Omar was saying, all the things that we've lost, and the fact that we're losing more money, where they're talking about having these vehicles that are driving themselves and whatnot, which I don't believe that it's going to be sustainable for them to do to employ having a bunch of vehicles that are self-driving. I think there's a lot of things not being thought of, like how they're going to manage these things, take care of them, maintenance these cars. Like they're not prepared to take on the responsibility of owning vehicles. Right now, the only reason it works is because we're stuck with the cost, and they've been taking it. Brandon's a prime example. Brandon used to take advantage of all the benefits for getting maintenance done on his car early on.
With Lyft,
So
yeah,
I mean,
it was great.
yeah, so all the incentives that we see available, most of them are absolutely useless. I mean, some things drivers use, maybe to get a little kickback on gas or something like that. But who's looking to use Rosetta Stone? It's just dumb. It's like, and then to say, oh well, we're trying
Hire
to
that shit for free.
seriously, and a lot of the features that they have connected to the apps. It's funny, you can go to Gridwise and use it without being connected to Uber. Not Gridwise. What is it? Upside. You can use that without having an Uber or Lyft account.
Well, you had Upside was running way before it was even attached to Uber and Lyft.
It's so to. Oh, Scott, thank you very much, Scott.
Oh, give me. Yep. Here, let me give him the big shout out. By the way, Scott, check your email, buddy.
This is Sparta! Damn, I'm good.
But my friend. It seems like it's. Oh, I'm sorry, Silver Fox. I didn't bring enough for the class. You're gonna have to ask my wife about that. She killed that dinner. Anyway, but
Eva's wife is playing the long game, by the way, because if you don't want nothing right now, she's gonna want something.
Got it made.
But and then the way that they're acting with the higher end vehicles, even with that, they're constantly shifting into different ways. They claim that they want to reduce the clutter of different ride types, but then they keep adding these new ride types, but invisible or visible, however you want to say it. This new business comfort, it's just like this is or comfort business, whatever. They contradict themselves on every turn, and then they claim that they're listening to drivers and making changes based off of what drivers want. And we're sitting here talking to a bunch of drivers who are like, that doesn't benefit me in any way, shape, or form. So yeah, I think it goes back to what you usually say, which is the pivot's down. You're in the most advantageous position if you get the meekest vehicle you can to make the most amount of money you can with it. They want to fill your time where I want, like, our goals are diametrically opposed. It's like, I want to use as little time as possible with my higher end vehicle to make more money, and the passengers are willing to pay for that. But Uber and Lyft feel free to get rid of things, even though it doesn't benefit the passenger and it doesn't benefit the driver. To the point that, I mean, look at what happened with Lux and Lyft. So, but I think that's going to continue. I think that trend's going to continue. I've seen markets where they don't even have a black SUV; they just have black. Right. What's to say that they don't roll that out across, all the markets? I don't know. But they felt free to get rid of Lux. And there's a lot of customers that are mad about it, decided to not even use Lyft anymore. I've been on black only, and they even, to the point that they even had to try to push a whole bunch of incentives over the last week or two. $300 for this week. And there's not a people in the area to actually, pull off the 90 rides that they want us to get. So it just doesn't look promising. It looks like it's going to be tougher and tougher or it's going to take a lot more of your time to make the same amount of money. And they're going to always come up with a new excuse for why.
Well, it's funny too, because Monday, there was that article we brought it to everybody's attention Monday on the midday live show, where it was this professor from Columbia University went at Uber and the CEO and the business practices, and where they're saying that drivers are making more per hour, that their take rate is only 15%, but yet after this guy's research, right, their take rate is 40%, and drivers are making 12% less. Which, you ask any driver worth their salt, right? Everybody will tell you we're making less money. And that's not even factoring in our expenses. My thing I always say is that, I made the most money on X when the first night I started. After that, it's been all downhill. You know what I mean? It's been all downhill. We've never gotten a pay raise. The only time drivers get a pay raise, like I said, is when we upgrade our cars. So for a guy like Brandon, and we're going to get to you in a minute, Brandon, and we're not using you. We're using you because you're the science experiment of the RideShare Garage. You
Of
do
course,
it all.
yes.
Literally do it all,
I do.
right?
Mhm.
And so now for a guy like Brandon, anything he does from this point forward, he's going to have to work harder at. Because now that he's thinking about, and I keep saying the pivot is down, 100% the pivot is down, right? Now that he's going to come back down, I think you're going to try a Model Y here, right, Brandon? Is that what we were talking about? You're getting ready to get into a Model Y?
Yeah, I'm
Okay.
getting it at a.
He's going to have to put in more hours to make
No.
what he was making on Uber Black or whatever it was with delivery plates.
He's
I
gonna
want
have
to
to
say
deliver that
something.
5-star service. We'll tip you in the app, Brandon.
Oh boy, that's
But
Oh
hey,
yeah.
look,
Hey man, I bought these dress clothes for a reason. So if I gotta do Uber Comfort, I'm gonna do Uber Comfort and a fucking suit and dress shirt and all that.
But here's
Fuck
another
it.
thing. Look at this. So this push to EVs is another prime example. So they're pushing to EVs, but then the whole program with the buying Teslas and whatever is basically become a flop. Realizing that maintaining these cars is a lot more difficult than they thought, are going to be extremely
Hertz
more
found out the
expensive.
hard way. Yep.
I mean, because the reality is, I couldn't recommend to somebody to go out and get an EV just on the possible cost of having to replace a battery, and especially if you don't know how to to take care of the car.
Well,
You get something.
hold that thought for a second. Let's talk about that for a second.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. First of all, I got two side notes. Number one, the article that we were referencing about the Uber CEO lying to investors and everybody, that article has been taken down off of Forbes.com, by the way, just so everybody knows. The article went out Monday morning. It disappeared yesterday. So let's just get that out the way. Anyway, the second part, Stephen, what you just talked about, which is it's a serious misconception. Okay. My youngest daughter and her Kia Soul, just about 100,000 miles on the engine. Okay. And she's not a speed demon, bro. She's like Miss Daisy driving. Okay. The engine just blew. Boom. Okay. They went across the state on the road trip back. The engine blew. Right. So now replacement cost on that engine installed from a certified mechanic is $7,000, and it's not even a new engine. It's a used engine. So when we start talking about replacing a battery pack versus the cost of what it is to replace a motor, okay, we're in the same, but we're close. I'm not saying we're even, but I'm saying if you got to do a motor trainee swap versus a battery pack, we got to be honest, we're in about the same ballpark here. The biggest difference is I'm going to get my battery pack switched out a lot quicker and a lot less moving parts to replace. So I before we go further, I wanted to get that up because I'm in that situation right now. You know? So anyway, go ahead, continue, Stephen. I'm sorry, buddy. Oh, Stephen might have went off. Okay. Brandon, what do you think, buddy? You think we've seen the best Uber and Lyft have to offer drivers?
You know, things are changing every 2 to 3 months. I don't know. I really think that it is a race to the bottom, but I do think that there is still a chance that they're going to do something. Because what I see eventually happening here in Chicago, now that the floodgates are open for Uber Black, that you're going to have a lot of business people who are used to the kind of service that they get from some Uber Black drivers, and then they're gonna get sick and tired of the guy in a sweatpants and fucking sandals picking them up when they're ordering Uber Black, and then they're gonna start threatening, oh hey, I'm not gonna be ordering Uber Black anymore. You're gonna lose a big chunk of your money. So I think there is a hope that will happen, and then maybe Uber will actually do something and put standards back on the top tier rides, rather than just allowing anyone willing to pay for the cost to get it. So I still see value in Chicago, which is why I'm gonna be dropping down to doing like Uber Comfort and Lyft Black when it's busy, and a Tesla, and just kind of write it out, and see what happens in the springtime when when your busy season is over and my busy season starts. Well, if things change, if they add a new ride type, if they increase pay, if they actually start getting Uber Black quests, maybe I'll go back to it. But just like what I said, like I'm at this. If things don't change, I am moving to either to Florida, LA, or Phoenix.
No. What?
Yeah. Sorry, Vinny. You can say
What?
no all you want, but
What are you
I still have my Florida driver's license.
what are you talking about? What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about.
Anyways, yeah, with the way current things are going, yeah, I'm still going to be leaving Chicago. But if something changes, or the city reverts back the plate count, maybe I'll stay. But yeah, it's just
because you're
it's
not coming
fucking,
to Florida. No, you ain't coming here, bro. Yeah, I'm debating whether to even allow you access past the border. Hold on, real quick. Big shout out to Buddha.
This is Sparta! Damn, I'm good.
Appreciate that, Buddha. Super chat. The federal 7,500 is no more for Teslas next year. Correct. On the Model 3. On the Model 3, it's dropping to 3,750. I thought. I didn't think it was for all the models. I'd have to go back and double check that.
no, just the Model 3.
It's just the Model 3. So if you get a Model Y, you'll still be available for the. But here's the thing. Can we talk about this for a quick second? How many people actually have $3,500 or $3,500 worth of write-offs? Do you have $3,750, Omar? Can you write off $3,750 on an itemized deduction?
I don't know if I want to answer that question.
Okay.
I owe $0 on my taxes, so I have no reason for any itemized deductions.
So I would much rather see that deduction come off the top of the price, the sticker price, and then get taxed on that versus a tax credit write-off that, unless you're making $150,000 a year and you got no deductions, you need the write-off. I don't know. Maybe that's just me. If you're a trader, if you're in the stock market and you're having a really, really good year, then yeah, you're going to want the write-off. But outside of that, okay. Let's keep it going. So go ahead, Brandy, continue. So it's your hope, or it's your logical thinking that we'll see better days as drivers?
I will see them doing something. I don't know what, but as I said, if they let things continue to get to the way that they get, many people will stop ordering Uber Black everywhere, because they're allowing drivers with zero standards doing it. Like, I saw someone in a, doesn't matter if it's Lincoln Corsair, even though it's a piece of shit car. I saw someone in a Lincoln Corsair pull out, had sweatpants and sandals and a t-shirt on, doing Uber Black, picking someone up at a 5-star hotel.
We used to get on certain guys down here, Omar. Remember the guys that used to show up? They were the Uber Lux SUV, when it was Uber Lux SUV before it started with this Premier shit. And they would show up, shorts and flip-flops, toes all hanging out, toenails needing cutting. I mean, your typical redneck trailer park look. I'm not saying they were typical trailer park rednecks, because they weren't, but that's how they would show up. Oh, but at least they'd have on a collared Izod shirt. I mean, what the? Anyway.
So I that's what I'm saying. Like, if Uber is going to start losing Uber Black clients, and these guys are going to start going, the route that some of the people I pick up at is, which is just pure private. I see a market in that because I deal with that. Like today, I did a 4-hour charter for $500 because the guy I picked up is the type of guy that doesn't want to deal with a fucking regular Uber driver. He wants to deal with someone who knows how to deal with private clientele and knows how to drive, and knows that whatever business they conduct is their business, and the driver ain't gonna say shit.
Yeah, I mean, I get that. I get that. Okay. So for you, you feel as if you're going to make things better for you. But the question that I'm asking is, right?
RideShare specifically, it's I
As my good friend Sergio likes to say, the 90% of drivers which
it will
don't do upper platforms, do you think they've seen their best days as far as the offerings from the apps? In other words, is this the best pay they're ever going to earn per minute, per mile, per ride?
as long as there are people who will take an Uber Eats order for 1 hour and make $7, it will not get better.
Understood. Good, 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 good. Thomas, what's going on, my Tampa Bay friend? How you doing, buddy?
I'm all right, brother. How y'all doing, gentlemen?
Man, I'm still recovering from that shellacking the Dolphins gave up on Monday Night Football, man. I ain't got past that yet, but it's okay because we got the Jets this week, so that's a guaranteed win. Anyway, Thomas, so let me ask you a question, buddy.
Sure.
Do you think we've seen the best? See, that Jet fans just disappeared. See how that Jet fan just disappeared? My old dipped. He dipped.
Right.
He knows. He's trying to change his background to a Jets. You watch what I tell you. Anyway, you think the best? You think we've seen the best that these apps are going to offer us?
Yeah, them days. Those days came and went, and when I started, was probably at the middle of the start of when they started trimming down the rates, the mileage, and the per minute. Because I remember when I first started, it was $1.05 a mile and 68 cents a minute.
Mm.
You had Uber X drivers at the start making like $100 an hour. Uber X at $100 an hour.
And that's what I'm saying.
Fuck?
And on my way home, when I was listening to you guys, I wrote the comment. When you drove Uber or Lyft, it used to pay major bills.
Yes.
At first.
Yeah.
And then now you basically subjected to paying for the gas that you used to do the driving in the first place. It just went to the complete crapper. I mean, I would wish that if they just set one rate and just leave it alone. And how they used to do was they used to have if you drive in this area for 3 hours, it's $4 or $5 a ride. And regardless if it was busy as all get out, or it was slow as hell, long as you stayed in this zone, you made that extra $5 per ride. And they used to have all these incentives, if you do 100 rides this week, we're paying $400. They used to give you incentives to make you want to drive. And I think what killed Uber is not that they lowered the prices and stuff. I think it was the social proof. When you first start doing it, and a lot of people is like, I don't know about that. And then they start seeing you start to change. You start to have better clothes. You're getting these cars fixed. You're getting this big screen TV. Then it started hitting other people like, oh, so they do pay money. because the only reason why I had done it at the time, I could never find a second job to go with my first job. And the job that I had at the time, I was either getting off at 5, 6, or 7. It was never a set time that I got off, and Uber was perfect for that. And it fit in perfectly. Next thing you know, I'm like, where am I getting all this extra money? Like I would drive 2 days and have 500.
Right.
2 days. you know, I had seen guys, they would start buying better cars and can be able to afford to pay for the better cars to give you the good service that you needed. If you do want to start doing private rides and stuff like that, there was no issue with that. If you got the car, they had the money to pay you. I think what it was is once this economy started crumbling and everybody started taking second thoughts and was like, hey, I might want to try this Uber. And then Uber was like, hey, if you join, now, I think it was one of the articles written here. A guy in Tampa had did that. They had it where if you did, think it was 500 rides, and I think it was in a month or in a week, something like that. They gave you like $6,000, and dude did it. And as soon as after he got the money, he quit.
That's what people used to do, man, when they would see those
Yeah,
big sign-on bonuses.
yeah,
$1,000, $5,000. Dude, people
yeah,
in here, grab them rides, and then like, okay, have a nice
yeah.
day.
Yeah, they'd be like, "Oh, do 1,100 rides in a month." Yep, I get that. I had that in 2 weeks. Thank you.
Oh, hold on. I told
Yeah,
y'all. What did I tell y'all Omar was going to do? What did I tell
Mhm.
you? He done
Yep.
went and got his little boy toy and put him in his background there. His little OnlyFans boy toy. Look how pretty he looks. Look how pretty their
Look how
coat is.
happy Omar is looking at him.
Right.
Yeah. Oh, he's got on the shirt too. Oh my
Yeah.
God. Okay. Anyway, goddamn New York Jets suck. Anyway,
Yeah.
it's gonna be a
Yeah.
good
But
game Sunday, bro. Gonna be a good game
yeah.
Sunday. Listen, come
Mhm.
next Wednesday. It's either Omar or me ain't gonna show up to the show. Just letting you know. It ain't. It's
Right.
either gonna be. Oh, that's my T-shirt, by the way. Don't play with my T-shirt, bro. Don't play with my T-shirt.
Look at you.
He just threw that shirt on the ground.
Right. You see this?
One of his riders he picked up. That was the giveaway Monday night. So he asked
Mhm.
me if I wanted it, and so I graciously accepted. Anyway,
Yeah.
Thomas. So yeah, I agree with you. Now up to the mic next. We got Mr. Scott Robinson,
Mhm.
straight out of Cali. He is an Uber Black driver. He's out of your neck of the woods. Steven is one of your guys out there, Mr. Gambit guys. And so I'm gonna welcome him to the show. First of all, what's going on, Scotty? Why don't you tell everybody a little bit about yourself?
Hi guys, can you guys hear me?
Loud and clear.
All right, perfect. I've of course I've been the guy that's been donating $5. I've yet to see my $5 come back to me with Uber. But I've been an Uber Black driver for I would say almost a year now. And I started with Uber X, of course, and then I went up from Uber X and I tried the rental program and with the Teslas, didn't really like that. And then went from XL, loved that, and then went from Black after that. Saved up. It took me forever to save up, and now I'm finally here. So
How long you been on? What vehicle did you acquire, and how long have you been on the top tier, top shelf Black platforms?
I've been on the top tier for a year. It's going to be a full year next after this month is over. One full year. I've seen like when you're on Uber Black and Uber Black SUV, the people that you pick up, it's a whole different ball game, and it's way better, I would say, than Uber X, and it's a 50-50 on Uber X. Uber Black and Uber Black and XL. So it's a toss up right now between which one's better. So,
but the client, your riders, is just a different ball game.
yeah.
Yeah, I think everybody can agree with that. The higher you go, usually just a different conversation for whatever
Yeah.
reason. It's usually an economic different conversation. Okay. So then I'm going to pose the question to you.
Okay.
Do you think? Well, let me ask you this first of all. Do you have your commercial, right? You got to have commercial insurance out there, right?
I have everything.
So
LLC, commercial insurance.
you can actually, you don't actually need the apps. You can
No.
go in. You can go independent and do your own thing.
Yeah. So a lot of limo companies, I'll work with them for like a month for like one day out of the whole month to keep them happy. And then I'm like, okay, I did my one trip with you guys. I don't want to see you guys for the rest of the month. And then like Black Lane is it's really hard to get into right now. You have to have an electric vehicle and it has to be commercial insured and everything. So Black Lane is very tough to get in. But once you're in, you can bring in your whole fleet of drivers. Once you're in with one electric vehicle, bring them all in. And it doesn't matter if it's an electric car or not. So
wow. Okay.
Yeah.
Somebody mentioned to me Black Lane before, and I really haven't looked into it much, just because I just don't want to be committed to nothing. That's
Black Lane.
Do they still have the 3-year limit where your car has to be within the?
Yeah.
It depends on the vehicle. It's either 2 or 3 years actually.
Yeah.
Some vehicles only 2 years.
Everyone's just picking a Tesla Model X and just putting that car first on their platform, and then bringing all their other cars in. So that's it.
Because they've removed the Tesla Model Y, at least here in Chicago, to do Black Lane.
Yeah, I don't know if they did it over here.
They didn't do that here. Not yet.
What do you guys mean when you say you have to acquire commercial insurance? For what? A vehicle you own or a vehicle that you're leasing or rent? Well, not leasing, renting.
What was the question? Sorry.
So Uber, the question is, Omar's wanting to know, why do you guys need commercial insurance out there?
So when we're doing, so commercial insurance is for when we're doing private chauffeuring around. It's to protect us and everyone inside the car. I have 7 seats in this car, so I need to make sure everyone's covered. That's why my coverage is $1 million policy, which is nothing. But I have to have that to protect everyone.
I get that, but I'm saying, is it are you okay?
Yeah.
Do you own
Uber.
Do you own
When
your
you
own car?
create an Uber Black account,
Yeah.
when you create an Uber Black account, so you have to have commercial insurance. You have to be registered with the PUC.
Mm-hmm.
You have to get the TCP number on the car. The vehicle has to have commercial registration. That's why I haven't done it with my car. And the only way to get commercial registration is to either have your vehicle paid for by the business or have it paid off, so that you can transfer the registration over.
Or have a vehicle that's already done for you and you're renting it.
But that's not creating your own account. They lease the vehicle from their fleet to you.
Yeah.
But that doesn't complete your Black account. In order to complete your own Black account, you have to have a vehicle under your personal business and registered commercially.
Yeah.
Right. But I want to make mention of something before I let Scott continue, is that, so like where Brandon's at in Chicago, where you guys are out in California, Omar, they are considered limo companies. They are considered at large hires, off the street hires.
Yeah.
Here where we are,
you can't do off the street. So what?
No, you can't do street hail.
You can't
do street hail, but you can do pre-arranged rides. So you can tell the person, "Hey, call me in 15 minutes and request a ride." So that's technically not street hailing.
So the way to not be street hailing, which is still illegal, you would have like your either have something on your car that shows address, a web address, or a phone number, and then you pre-schedule the ride. They call. As long as you're not talking to the person directly off the street, you're scheduling a ride either through a website. That's what the best way you can do it. Set up a website or have a phone number. I'm sure he has his way that he does it.
Yeah.
But that's the degree of separation that you have to have, because it is still illegal to have hailed rides off the street.
Yep. And the one way I've come around that is I hand that person my business card and I'm like, text me while I'm putting in your stuff in my car. and then I'll schedule it right there. I'm like, okay, perfect, let's do it. And then I'll send them the price too. I'll send them the price in the text message so everything's legit, and they're like, oh, okay, cool, all right, get in, let's go.
All right.
Also, I don't know if it's different over there, but over here, Uber only requires 350K insurance. The 1 million insurance is only required from Blacklane and like
Yep.
the big limo companies here, like Windy City and NA1 and Chief Limo. They're the ones that require the 1 million insurance.
Yeah. I know for us, I think it's the 1 million just for all the limo companies out there. So,
Yeah, but I'm talking about for Uber Black specifically. Like if you only wanted to do Uber Black,
I think it's 750 for Uber Black up here.
So is this your own company you have set up with your own vehicle underneath?
Yeah. Yeah.
And do you have any other vehicles under your company as well?
Not yet. So I still have my 2022 Kia Telluride that I can rent that out to another driver if I want to, because I have everything all set up. But not yet. Hopefully, what I'm doing is I'm waiting until 2025 to see what happens with the Cadillac Escalade all electric that comes out. See how well other drivers deal with that car.
Smart
and
man,
then
wait for it.
Yeah, because I want to talk to you about possibly doing something. So let me.
And then also because the 2025 Chevy Suburbans, which I'm driving in 2023 Chevy Suburban, their inside has changed completely. Everything's really nice, digital, so it looks great now. So now I'm gonna wait until 2025. Hopefully the economy is a little bit better, but because we're dealing with the higher end class of the world, money is always going to be there. So unless they stop spending, that's when I start to get worried. I'm like, oh, they're not going anywhere.
Oh no, but I've been seeing, especially in my new spot, they are still spending.
Yeah, like right now, I'm over here in Orange County, right next to Fashion Island, which is one of the busiest malls that we have. But I'm sitting right next to Pimco, which I have a few clients from Pimco. I'm sitting right next to Pendry, brand new hotel that just opened up. So if you're an Uber Black and Black SUV driver, you hang out in these areas all day long.
I mean that's the reason why I even started doing Uber in the first place, is because I live in a within like 10 minutes of every 5-star hotel in the city. It's such a prime location that I don't even have to move to be able to get rides from anywhere. So yeah, he's right. You gotta be in those big areas, and like every time I pass over Trump Tower, there's always 10 SUVs parked right outside there just waiting for rides.
Yeah. I don't. Whenever I'm driving around and I see like 10, like at least 6 SUVs sitting, I try to stay away. I'm like, nope, that's too many. So let's go into another spot. So every driver should have at least 5 spots that they know their data. They'll get a hit. They'll get some kind of ride out of there. So
Preach.
But it took me forever. I used to always sleep in the morning, but keep my phone on and my app just open and screen record the surges that was going around in my area. Wake up and then relook at all my footage and go, oh, okay, Costa Mesa, Newport Beach, Laguna Beach, all surge at 5:30 in the morning for the past 3 days. Cool.
There used to be an app for that.
Yep. That's what I'm gonna do. Now I'm gonna get up at 4, leave my house at 4:30 and drive all the way down there and see what's going on.
See, and that's interesting because first you said something that's 100% true, right? Is the upper tiers, always money is never going to be a real issue for them. It's just a matter if they stop spending it or not. Yep. And we've seen down here in our market in certain spots that's starting to happen. In the money areas, we're starting to see a little slowdown, and it shouldn't be slowing down because we're in the middle of our season. You know what I'm saying? So that's number one. Number two, the other thing you said is that you researched and found your hot spots. And that's something that I try to press on people. Well, listen, dude, if you're sitting there for 2 hours, you ain't getting no goddamn requests. hit another spot that you know that can be busy. And so that's two big things. I just
or just not drive during that time, because like for here, like between 9 and 3, like that's when I sleep, 9 a.m. and 3 p.m. because I'm you're not going to get any rides during the middle of the day unless you're at the airport.
Mhm.
well, and I agree with that. And that goes back to the whole knowing your market. And every YouTuber, I don't care who it is, every YouTuber says the same thing, and it's 100% correct. You got to know your market. Omar went to the game. Omar went to the game Monday night. I sat here and was very comfortable watching the game Monday night. Right, I chose not to work, but Omar knew where to be, and he had Nick Williams with him down there with the Tesla, the Model 3. So you got a guy driving the QX60 who's got the upper platforms for our area, and then you got another guy that's got the bottom tier middle platforms because he gets Premier, right? And so between the two of them, I mean, they made bank Monday. They knew when and where to be. So it's just something that drivers got to take that away, bro. By the way, I want this comment I got up here. This is the absolute Steven, this is what we were talking about last night. This is what we were talking about. Vito says, I'm
Right.
about a half hour behind in the video, but for
Right.
the first time in my 9.5 years of driving, I feel broken. I
Right.
used to get excited for the day. And now LA traffic, and you can substitute LA for Chicago, Miami, Fort Lauderdale, New York City with their goddamn congestion tax now, traffic, and these low payouts, it just feels defeated. Bro,
Right.
do you know how many drivers feel that way now?
See,
Yes.
that was gonna be my point in all this that we've been discussing. I
Yes.
feel like I have an opinion on what we were just talking about, but I'm just not gonna express it because it's just not worth it. As far as the original question goes, have we seen the best of it? Everybody here, whether you said it or not, has just said we have seen the best of it. It's going down, and part of that is not so much earnings because you could look at the bottom line. We're all working way too hard, and on top of that, it's the morale thing. And we've talked about this before. I don't get excited to do this anymore. In fact, I was thinking about this today, Vinny. I'm actually glad you brought this question up, dude. Literally today, I was thinking to myself, man. I remember when I had a W-2 and I look at the surgeons and I go, damn, I can't wait to get the hell out of here. I would cut out of work early.
Yeah.
I would cut out of work early. I'd sometimes get in
Yeah.
trouble for cutting out of work early. I didn't care. I wanted to get the hell out of there, especially on Friday. I was like, damn, I gotta go.
Yep.
No,
Now, today, we were supposed to have gale force winds and all this crap. I'm like, oh, okay. I'm gonna sit here. I'm gonna watch this surge. I'm gonna sit here and watch it. It's my day off today because I worked 7 days a week last week, like seriously for Art Basel. So a little bit of a, and I don't even think I saw any color on the map today. If I did, it was just what I call the brown stain on the map.
little blimps on the radar.
Yeah, just little, yeah.
No, but Vito's 100% right on this.
Yeah.
And I was not motivated, and I just had a maybe a half hour ago I had a whatchamacallit come through, a reservation come through, and I'm saying to myself, I'm not even gonna get up. It's one ride, and then I'm gonna end up getting no more rides. I'm not even gonna wake up. It was 5 o'clock in the morning to the airport. I'm just like,
And that's not being negative, it's just being honest.
yeah, right. I should say that. Thank you, Vinny. It's just being honest. I understood that last week was last week, and then I'll take this week and with a different approach. That's all.
I think the one thing too is the apps will feed you dopamine to make you feel good for 1 week, and will feed you exactly what you want for that 1 week because they know, okay, he hasn't been on for 2 weeks. Let's give him the rides he wants to make him feel good, and then after that on Monday he comes back around doing the same thing. He's feeling great. He just made $2,000 this week. He feels better, and we're going to give him nothing. We just want him to do 5 rides, and maybe he makes $75.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, and so the at the end of the day, we listen. I think everybody on here and everybody in the chat. I think the majority of the chat too. If you come to the garage, I have a sneaking suspicion you know how to make money. It's not about whether you can make the money or not. I'm averaging now the last 6 weeks. I'm averaging 1,300 a week. I still ain't cracked 40 hours. I thought I cracked 40 hours last week. I didn't crack 40 hours last week. Okay, and I'm still averaging what I'm averaging. So the money is there. I know where to go get the money. I know Omar knows where to get the money. Thomas, Scotty or Scott. Do you mind if I call you Scotty or you prefer Scott?
Everyone calls me whatever.
No.
It doesn't matter.
It does matter. I don't roll like that, bro. What do you prefer?
It doesn't matter, Scott or Scotty.
All right, Scott. There you go. So it's going to be Scott. Steven, Brandon, listen, we all know how to make money. It's not about that. It's about the bullshit you got to go through to make the money. That's why people leave 9-to-5 fucking jobs to begin with. That's why they leave W-2 jobs. That's why they don't go work at the post office, because they know in 10 years they're going to lose their shit. It's how you got to make the money that becomes the problem. And so I thought that was a really good discussion we had yesterday, because I mentioned it, and right off the rip, Steven stepped right in. You know what, Vinny? I was just thinking that same goddamn thing. And now we listen to Omar today, this morning. I was just thinking that same goddamn thing. It's a real deal. Brandon and Scott are in a situation where they have that top of the top echelon. And as long as the money is moving, they're going to be okay. But once my season ends, Omar and I are going to be sitting there. We're going to be sitting there twiddling our fucking thumbs. He's probably going to be back on a W-2 somewhere. And I might be doing not a goddamn thing. I'll be trying to make more YouTube videos. I don't know. But it won't be this, because the rides won't be there.
I don't want to go back to a W-2, but it's under serious consideration right now.
Oh, I already did that, brother. I already did it.
It's just a shame, and the fact that people in the chat are saying the same shit, that they're feeling defeated, and it doesn't matter how many times, like Scott said, bro, they'll feed you that dope. They'll definitely feed you the dopamine, like they were talking about on the surge. Remember when it was bright red, it'd be like $20. Now bright red is $3.50. The one that I got that I'd never seen before, at least in our market, Omar, you can correct me, I've never seen it. Lyft is actually showing $1 bonus now. $1. I had never seen that down here till about 2 weeks ago. $1. It was usually $2 or better. Now we got $1 bonus. We got $1.25 bonus. Like, oh yes, David Risher. That's, God damn it. Let me put on my track shoes and drive 12 miles to go get that $1.25.
Speaking of Lyft, Vinny, don't you have something to talk about?
So this was interesting.
Uh-oh.
Omar, do you have that picture?
Which one?
Ride type picture with Lyft that you posted in the Discord. Okay, I don't know why.
Of the Mercedes?
Yeah.
Yes.
Can you share that picture on the screen with us? Is that possible?
Yeah, give me 1 second,
bro. Okay, so while Omar,
I also have the article too, by the way.
Okay, so while Omar is bringing that up, how many of you guys got business comfort requests already? What the hell is business
Remember,
comfort?
I was getting those. I've been getting them for like a week or
They-
two.
they-
before they
so-
announced stuff.
According to Uber, business comfort is basically the same as regular, but they get additional support. Like they get I don't know, probably like a dedicated support team to help with issues.
And they're also supposed to pay the driver. They're supposed to pay them a premium on top of the standard ride. But I'm not seeing that in my experiment. I've got a bunch of screenshots. They look exactly the same as standard comfort rates.
So, chat, before we talk about this, study the screen. Study it well.
Yeah.
And then let us know in the chat what you see wrong. We'll give you 30 seconds.
I mean, Lyft is just, boy, Lyft is on a whole nother level. Lyft is on a whole nother level of what the fuck are you doing this week? Lyft is on a whole nother level, bro. A whole nother level.
And this is this is not a beta trial.
This is not Photoshop.
This is live.
Does anybody see it?
Does anybody see what looks a little bit off?
Thomas, you seeing it?
What, Uber green? I mean, Lyft green?
Uh-huh. But do you see where it's at?
Yeah, all ride types. Jesus.
No. Don't look at all ride types. Go down. Look further down.
No, he's
They are-
saying it's showing up in all the
Yeah.
selection.
They are. Here's the problem. Lyft Green is going to fall into the black only ride platform type.
Ooh.
So
They're
a
not
lot
going to
of
pay
times,
enough for that to work, and they're going to.
so when Comfort came online here a month ago or so, okay, they put it in the premium only or in the premium line. So therefore, now when I get Excel, I also have to put up with Lyft Comfort requests
Extra
the
comfort.
same as Excel, even though Excel pays double what
Mm.
Lyft Comfort pays. So if I want to take Excel rides, I gotta put up with the Lyft Comfort request, which I keep telling everybody I went from 76% acceptance to 19% acceptance because I fuck you, I'm not doing these Lyft Comfort rides.
Right.
So now I don't even turn Excel on. So now I'm only in the black only. But now they're gonna put green.
Green.
And y'all know anybody who does Uber Green knows Uber Green is the cheapest payout. It's cheaper than fucking X.
Mm.
It's
Actually,
supposedly paying
mine-
50 cents more than standard.
My green rides
Okay.
usually are paying more than regular.
Okay, well, they didn't do that for me, but that's number one. Number two, Green paying 50 cents more than X does not make it premium only. It doesn't make it a black or a black SUV ride because my black SUV rides are still paying out better than $4 a mile. Still, my black rides are now paying like $1.70 on average a mile. So now they're gonna give me a 90-cent ride in a black. Come on, bro, that's bullshit. That's bullshit. That's bullshit.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you guys think?
Like the,
What do you think?
How is green even considered black? Two different colors.
Right.
Listen, the only black, only green that they're going to be able to get in there is going to be the Escalade. That's the only SUV that's an EV, right? That
Not
qualifies for black only.
Not yet. The Escalade EV comes out in 2025.
So then there didn't. So there is no black SUV.
The
EV.
people who will be getting the Escalade EV are the people who are doing private only. My fleet owner specifically, who has 150 trucks, says he's only getting one, and only to drive one client that requested it. That's it. He's not getting any more.
Yeah, because they're starting off at 130K.
Yeah, that's
Just
that's a chicken shack house in Hialeah. Get the fuck
What
out
kind
of
of
here.
range is that thing to even get?
bro. You can't get into Hialeah for less than 300,000 nowadays, bro.
Well, yeah, that's crazy. And it's
and let's
Damn, Hialeah is bougie now.
Oh, Hialeah is bougie. Y'all need to go check Hialeah out, bro. The last hole that's pumping up is Opelika. Once Opelika goes over 200,000, that's it. Game over. Ain't nobody moving to Miami at all.
No,
You ain't gonna be able to afford it. When Opelika goes bougie, it's done. Oh man, I'm trying to keep up with some of these comments. Like I said, I don't know what drugs Lyft is on, but they're on some shit, man. I don't know who is trying to force these rides on drivers. And like Brandon thought that earlier, he said that well, you got Lux drivers that are taking the extra comfort rides. I ain't met one yet. I ain't met a Lux driver other than Eddie take one yet.
Oh my
Well,
god!
I got picked up
Jeez.
today in a
had
Acura
to admit
MDX,
that?
and I did extra comfort.
What? What?
I did. I took a ride to get my hair cut this morning, and I did Lyft extra comfort, and Acura MDX picked me up.
Well, it's an MDX, so yeah, he that's somebody who lost Lux and gained extra comfort.
That's
No.
the story.
Acura MDX was able to do a Lux.
Right, that's what he's saying.
Yeah.
It lost the Lux, and now they don't have no choice but to have extra comfort.
Jeez.
So they don't have a
MDX.
choice.
I can't believe you admitted that Eddie's doing extra comfort. I didn't think his standards were that low.
He does X rides. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
I'm losing a
No,
little bit of respect for Eddie.
because that's part of his strategy. I used to get on him all the time about it in private, and then once he explained his strategy to me, listen, Omar, y'all can say what you want. Nobody on this panel has made $100,000 the last 2 years plus. Maybe Scott.
Excuse me?
Scott.
Excuse
You made
me?
100,000. You made 100,000 last year.
Last year I made 180,000.
Until you verify it, is bullshit.
And you
I
spent
made-
200.
I made 98,000. Made 98,000 on the apps, and then another 90,000
No.
W2.
Okay, well, no. Okay, see, there you go. W2 in there. Eddie did 180,000+ last year doing RideShare, and I've seen the proof. I've seen the tax returns. 180K last year he did. The year before that, he did about 130. You can't argue with the success.
Just RideShare, none of his other business stuff.
No. The other stuff is worth maybe like 7,000. That's it.
I mean, this year the money's going to come from his OnlyFans for sure.
Are we going to get sponsored by his OnlyFans or what?
We should. We're capitalists.
By the way, where's Musa? I should bring Musa into the chat tonight. Trying to keep up with these comments. Where you at there, Steven? We got anything good going on in there? It's 10 o'clock. Right now, we're going to do our official sponsor for the show. We are in. You guys know it is coming. Gigwithit.com. Gigwithit.com is your official sponsor of the RideShare Garage. They got the hats. They got the shirts. They got the hoodies. Bro, I thought I was going to get to break out my hoodie the other night, but then I didn't go to work. I was going to wear my hoodie. I was going to do a whole 30-second commercial for Kyle. But I didn't go to work.
going to wear my shirt, and then I got high.
Yes, sir. Anyway, y'all give it a scan. Y'all go check out gigwithit.com for all your RideShare needs. All right. There we go.
Can they do
All right,
a polo shirt for us?
Of course.
Yeah. Because if they have one of those, I'll wear one.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll reach out to Kyle and see what they can come up with. I know I was talking to Kyle about doing all the RideShare Garage stuff. It's a little bit different than print to order because it's of the way he does things, but we're working on it. We're in negotiations. That's all.
You know, Vinny, one thing to add, and this will be the last point I make is, and so because I know that our Lyft representative is going to be here soon.
No, we won't be here tonight.
That perspective is like is something to consider. Someone who may have started in the last year, and maybe it's like side money to them, and they think that it's good. They might be thinking, "Oh, this is like is this as good as it gets? Yeah, it can get better or whatever." Like their perspective of it might still be somewhat positive, whereas our perspective is skewed because we've been doing this for so long. You could say, "Oh, you guys are just a bunch of negative Nancy's," but maybe we've been doing it too long, whatever the case may be. But I think that perspective matters, because I will give our Lyft representative a little bit of credit when he says, there are some people who are happy. I don't know anybody who is happy doing this, but there may I can't rule out that possibility that there are people who might have their finances in order and might not be underwater and might not be paying 29% APR on a Porsche, and they might just be, enjoying doing
fired.
this.
I will let you guys
whatever it is,
I'm definitely
let you guys
upside down,
know.
so I can't say nothing.
that every time I go on to Uber, my number one goal is to meet people that live here and to get them onto my side.
Yes, sir.
That's it. So I don't care. Well, I do care how much they pay per ride. Mine's always $20 or more. I won't do anything less than that. But it's like you have to live here for me to pick you up. And if you're just a local just coming through, maybe your company, I can reach out to your company and try to approach you guys on that side. So, but I will say this, I love the apps. These apps are hilarious to me. So every time I turn them on, I'm like, all right, let's go pick up. I don't know, Luis.
Next.
Right.
Add one next. Party of 3. Let's go. Yeah. All right. So just a quick note on it too. Eddie's under the weather. He's not feeling well. He texts me and he's just feeling down today. So he's going to take some time off and go do his thing at the house. If anybody catches him on OnlyFans, please let us know so that we can discipline him properly. But I don't think he's going to be. If you had a
Right.
sideshow schedule with Eddie tonight, it's not going to happen. Just letting you know. He might be at the elbow room later though, right, Buddha? Where's Buddha? This is Buddha's favorite guy at the elbow room. He hasn't been there.
Right.
He hasn't been there in a while.
No, he hasn't.
He hasn't been there in a while. All right. Let's see. Buddha's saying, just got a text for that 2,500 to Vegas. Oh,
You better
Now,
take
look-
that. You better take that. You better freaking take that.
You're gonna have to charge halfway through, Buddha.
halfway, a quarter way. Are you kidding me? You got to charge
Well,
like
I was
5
just gonna
times,
ask.
bro.
how many miles is
You
it from LA to Vegas?
No, he's not in LA.
It's like
He's not in LA.
400.
He's not in LA.
He's in North Cali.
Yeah, he's in a different part.
No, he's in Bernardino.
So
He-
Steven knows
yeah,
where he's
up
at.
north.
Steven,
He's east.
Steven, do the math, man. Come on, Google it. Google it.
Yeah,
Google
it's
it.
about 400 miles.
Oof.
And he's
But
getting paid how
the
much?
last time he had one, if that's the same client, remember they had him driving their car and then put them up in a room, paid everything, and paid him for driving it out there.
Oh.
Yeah.
Now, and, in that regard, when you can establish that kind of relationship, then
Oh, yep, it's the same
in that
client.
regard,
Look,
the best could still be to come for you personally, but not necessarily from Uber and Lyft. Obviously, from Uber and Lyft, it's still down. It's going to continue to be down.
So he's jumping on the range. He's going to drive the
oh
range.
yeah, yep.
Okay.
Oh, nice.
Okay.
Wow.
He be making some serious connections, man. I take my
Yeah.
hat off.
We're just finessing, man.
Bro,
You got that
yeah.
finesse. You got that finesse gene.
Melvin and Dr. C are absolutely messing with Eddie. He's not even here to defend himself. They got Eddie bending over, creaming on pineapples and shit. What the
Wow.
fuck? What are we doing here?
And he does it to himself, man. Does it to himself.
All right.
So what else is going on? I'm gonna open up the floor. You guys can take over a little bit here. That was the big thing that I had. I'm still a little shocked that the article came out on Monday, calling foul on Uber, and yesterday it was gone. I think that's a little curious. We'll see what happens there.
There it is, Vinny. There it is.
Yeah, I actually have a copy of the whole entire thing.
Oh,
Sergio,
okay, yeah.
Sergio told me that he's doing something about it, and that he could
I
tell
don't
me
know.
anymore.
I haven't spoken to
Oh.
him, so
Okay,
I have
it's just
no
nothing on the internet goes away. You could take
Yep.
Forbes to take it down. It's too late. It's
Yeah,
too late.
you already.
Too
Too late.
It's
It's
too
too
late.
late.
Are you kidding me? Nothing
not-
ever gets
By the
deleted.
time
from
people
the
start
internet.
talking about it, it's already been recorded.
No, but there's
Yeah.
always I have a copy of it now. It took me 2 seconds to Google search.
Yeah.
It's
Done
there.
deal. Done deal. All right, so Omar, why don't you and I thought Nick was going to be here. Why don't you talk about your Basel experience a little bit, the goods, the highs and the lows, and believe me, bro, I know your highs and lows, so go for it, because I want Brandon to understand that it's not always every day roses and rainbows and unicorns that he can ride like a Bronco bully on OnlyFans. I'll be right back.
So it was busy every day, but also things changed every day. So one thing I probably didn't recognize very well was, because you get used to doing one thing. There was one day where everything really wasn't happening on South Beach; it was happening off South Beach. But yeah, just Miami in general, the parts that people want to be around and know, the hot spots. It was going, man. It was going almost all day till 5, 6, 7 a.m. People were partying, going to different places. So it was really important to balance yourself. I suspect that a lot of drivers ran out of clock, and again, that benefits someone like me who knows how to save clock. And I mostly stuck to Lux Black only. I really wish I thought about Brandon. I was like, man, right now I need that Lux Black Excel profile that you got, bro, or that you used to have, bro.
I've tried for
Let me tell you,
months.
man.
They will not give it back.
Man,
The person who used to fix it for me no longer works for Lyft.
Yeah, man. So
I
then
tried. I tried emailing her like 5 times, not a single response.
So for me, my strategy kind of changed from day to day. I actually should have worked on Tuesday. Had I worked on Tuesday, I would have made like another couple hundred more. I'm actually a little confused as to how much I actually made last week, and I'm not going to reveal that on air after
Right.
when we're on Discord later. I'll talk about it, but um, I'm a little because and the reason why I say that is because I did a lot of cash. I was just going places, and one of the easiest cash ride for me was I would drop off somewhere, and there'd be like freaking 100 people there. Hey, are you open? Hey, are you open? And
Yeah.
I would just blurt out 150. Okay, here you go.
Boom.
So I
Yep.
mean,
Mhm.
people wanted to go wherever they wanted to go, and it was it was good, but at the same time, um, with these low ball offers, it was better in years past. So thankfully, it was good this year. It was still not too bad. I know how to get around traffic. All my traffic rides were big Lyft Black Excel rides, so I didn't mind the traffic because
Right.
once it cleared up, again, I knew how to work it. And Para, man, shout out to Para, man. I had Para
Mhm.
on. I must have rejected last week. I don't even have a count. If I had a count, maybe 500 rides or more, at least. Seriously, I again, I've always said this, and people, you could say I'm crazy, you could say I'm this, I'm that, whatever. You're not making money unless you're declining and canceling. Period. You are not making. Say that again to yourself. Listen to what I'm saying. You are not making money until you're canceling and declining. So that was my experience. It was cool. I met a lot of cool people. Didn't have any drunks or people that threw up in my car. Um,
That's always a bonus. Always a bonus.
yes and no. I didn't want to stop. So when you do get someone that throws up in your car, you do have to stop for a little bit. So
Stank. Ooh.
yeah. So it was. I came home every day like dead. Woke
Mm.
up right back out the door. So it was nice in that regard that I just knew what I was doing, and that was it. You have a target and you go for it. And we have another guy who came down every day in his Excel, and he made a lot of mistakes, but he'll learn from those mistakes. And Nick here in the Model 3 also made a lot of mistakes, but that's why I tell everybody when you have like a way of communicating, and we have the Zello channel that we use for South Florida, those guys were learning a lot and we were talking about it. And I said, hey, reevaluate your day because when I reevaluated my Wednesday, I think it was Thursday and Friday, holy crap. Thursday and Friday were the days where I made bank.
Those were your good
So,
days. Thursday and Friday were your best days.
yeah, because I knew what I was doing. So,
Right.
and then Saturday into Sunday, Sunday was all airports. So every day, let's just say the lowest day I had, I think was Wednesday or Tuesday at like 250. So I never made less than that. I'll just leave you with. I'll let your mind wander as far as that goes.
All right. Well, Nick's not here, so I guess Nick's out driving or he's working around tonight. But I know he did
Right.
pretty good down there. And
Uh,
Richie Hustles did pretty good down
and to answer Melvin's question, yes.
there. Oh, Kevin Hart said it best. You're gonna learn today, or lose money. Ain't that the truth? Now, me, I didn't do one trip, not one trip
Mhm.
to Basel. Didn't go down anywhere near it. I think the furthest south I got was Aventura. And
Mm.
for the amount of days I worked 5 days and I did 1,400 for the week without killing myself. So and that's the whole key to it. There's so many different ways you can drive and make your money. There's no
Mhm.
one way. It's what works for you.
Well, I would say another thing too, Vinny, is that and we talked about this before about motivation, and I was just telling somebody on our Discord about this because it kills me that they're doing food delivery right now, and their response to me was, it's really slow right now, like it's slow time, and I'm just like, that shit breaks my heart because every day that I woke up, that I was like, man, I'm tired, man, I'm tired. One thing I did was, exercise more, got out of the car. I was drinking a lot of water.
Mhm.
I was drinking like 2 water bottles a day, man. My motivation was Omar. you know how bad it's gonna be the day after Ultra ends. That's what I kept telling myself. Get the F up and go make this money
Yep.
Yep.
because I need it.
Mhm.
I freaking need it. So when it's
I
there,
agree.
make as much as you can and some.
You're right. Mhm.
Feast
Don't
or
just
famine.
think. I like my mentality is don't think. Well, I'm only supposed to make 500 a week. I've made my 500, so I'm gonna go home now. I made it in 2 days versus 5 days. That's nice. No, you made it in 2 days. Make 2 grand.
That's it. Keep
Right.
going.
Because the slow week when you
going.
can't even make 500 in a week. Because let me tell you, I've had those weeks.
It
I've
happens.
had weeks
It
this
happens.
year where I could barely make $500 in a goddamn week, bro.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And you know what's
That's
sad is in that feast and famine mode, when you're in feast or famine as a living, that's how you make your money. Your bills are the same every month. It's the same rent
Mhm.
or mortgage, same car payments, same
Yep.
insurance payment.
Rents.
That shit don't change, bro. It does not change.
No.
So, all right. All right. Well, that's good on Basel. That's good on Basel. Now we don't have nothing again here major like that until the boat show, which is mid and third week of January, I think. Third or fourth week of January, it's the boat show. It's usually around President's Day. So there you go. All right. Brandon, what big stuff you guys got going? I like that shirt, bro.
I
That
know.
was the that was
Is
the
it, is it still available?
no, I shut down the store because nobody was using it. But look at that shirt. That was a Kiera special right there. Chicago's best Lux driver. That boy. I tell you, I miss Kiera. I don't know where she's at, but I
Right.
do miss her.
No more of this, though. No more of this.
I miss my girl, man.
No more of that $39 surge.
Yeah, well, that
Yeah.
ain't gonna happen again.
Yeah,
Um,
she probably went W-2 or got two of them. She's still out there hustling somewhere.
I know she's out there hustling because that
Yes.
young lady is nothing but a hustler. Wish her the best. Wish everybody the
Yes.
best, you know. Ron hasn't been around. I know Ron's schedule's changed a little bit, and he's kind of
Mhm.
doing his own thing. So God bless him. But
Yeah.
we're here when they're ready to come back home. We're here.
Yep.
What else was I going to say? So, Brandon, Scott, Thomas, what big jobs? What big? Is there anything, Thomas? I need to be gearing up to come do over in Tampa. Omar and I need to
Uh,
deadhead over to Tampa.
Nothing really. I mean, only thing we got coming up here is the Gasparilla Bowl. I think that's like after Christmas, and then you got the Outback Bowl on New Year's Day.
Yeah, no.
And that's about it. But
Who's playing that?
huh?
That's on New Year's Day.
Yeah, the Outback Bowl is usually on New Year's Day.
Who's playing in that?
It's I have to look, but it's the second place Big Ten team against the second place SEC team.
Okay, so then that would be Georgia and no, that can't be because we got Georgia FSU, which absolutely aggravates my
Mhm.
life right now. I swear it. I don't even
Yeah,
want
but
to.
yeah, but that's who's the Outback Bowl is
We
linked
got
to.
we got so
It's
screwed, man. We got so screwed down here because
yeah,
we got the Orange Bowl and we got so screwed.
yeah. So
Lyft
it's
won't let you change markets without their permission.
I don't know about that.
Yes. I mean, I don't know about now, but I remember when I had to make those
yeah,
trips to the state, I was getting Lyft requests all the way up to Ohio.
Yeah,
yeah,
I've gone to. I mean, it's been a while, but I've gone to other states and turned Lyft on.
yeah. I've done that too, and it worked. Hell, I turned Uber on, and I was in a whole nother country.
Well, I mean,
That says a lot. That says a lot.
Really?
so for
I get
me
calls-
going to Arizona, I had to get what is it? Get an inspection form from Arizona.
Listen, Steven, that's because you suspect, bro. Okay, everybody's scared of you, bro.
Damn. Jesus Christ.
Hey, we got stories. We got stories.
Wow.
What the hell is
They
this?
heard-
Man was getting background check for like a year, bro. What the
Oh,
hell?
man.
You were like you had this. You were
I
deactivated.
was permanently sus. Yeah.
What the hell is Buddha talking about here? I got an Uber X exclusive ping in Rancho Cucamonga. What the hell is that, Steven? What's wrong?
I think that's a friend and family request.
Yeah.
No. I don't. I've been. I saw it on Reddit as well, where it says exclusive. So
No
I
upfront details.
Buddha,
Yeah,
do it
and
for
He
science.
never told me about it, so I don't
Do
know.
Do it for science, bro. Go.
go ahead, Buddha. Hit him up in the wide. Let us know.
Yeah, it says no
Don't end the trip.
upfront details. Yeah.
Oh
Take
my
some screenshots.
Yeah, that too.
So Scott, how busy do you stay out there with the Uber Black and Black SUV? Because there used to be a guy out there, Kush. He's a YouTuber. He actually took everybody through the process of getting all their stuff squared away for Uber Black, the plates or whatever.
CP, yeah.
Yeah,
Mhm.
all of that stuff. And then so and he used to stay busy, but then like he got tired of it. And I always thought his mistake was he bought the XT6. I mean the XTC, which was the grandpa Cadillac sedan, instead of getting a Suburban.
Mhm.
Right? I thought that was his mistake, if you want to be honest.
Mm.
But how busy do you stay out there on Black?
There's some clients that like that car, like cars.
It's busy during certain times, like with everyone. It's a hit miss. I don't touch the airport, John Wayne Airport. I will not touch. You'll
Okay.
wait there for 4 hours for one ride for $17 to go to a hotel right outside.
Ugh.
Oh my
Not worth it.
gosh.
Kill me now.
yeah, but don't you get a Q bump to go back in the front?
You do, but you just waited 4 hours for 17 bucks. Get a queue bump. You got to wait another 30 minutes for the next client to come out of
I was wondering how much these people chilling
4
at
hours,
LAX were getting
and then
paid.
you get a Q bump if you haven't driven off a bridge already.
Right.
Yep. And when I first started doing Uber Black, that was my first thought. I was like, "Oh, the airport. Oh,
Yeah.
let's just try that." And I tried it for a full week, and I told myself, "Never, ever again."
Nope.
Did you ever get any long distance pings?
I got one which I shared in the Discord that it wasn't it was right next to the airport. It was $230 to take someone to another airport. So,
Yep, I love those.
and I was like, oh, and I took it, and the guy I was like, oh, this guy's a little sus is what I would. So he had a really bad rating and a lot of bags. And I was like, oh, yep, here we go. So, and I took him to Van Nuys, and he had a private jet. I was like, oh, okay. So,
Porn
but
producer.
it's to answer your question, it is busy. Like right now, it's busy because we have the Newport Beach boat parade going. Today's the first day
Okay.
of it. So, and I'm waiting on my client to get done so I can take them home, and then that's it for the night. And when it comes to like local clients, a lot of people charge $100 an hour. That's like the minimum that everyone charges for their service. I don't do that, especially in when they're going from Newport to Newport. There's no point to do that. I only charge them $75 an hour. So they save $25 an hour, and they just go off and do their thing. They come back in 4 hours, 5 hours, pick them back up, take them home, and that's it. So,
Okay.
but
You,
on Uber and on Uber, it's busy, and then there's some times where it's not busy. So it just depends on the day and the week and the time. So I know we have all the way until the halfway point of January, and then after that, I just hope that my clients call for the next month and a half, which they did last year, which is great. So I'm hoping that happens again.
did you work New Year's last year?
I don't work New Year's at all unless
Okay.
the client asks me, and then I upcharge them.
Oh.
So because you're pretty much taking me away from my personal life. So
Well, that's going to be let's go around the horn with this one.
Mm-hmm.
How many people actually plan to drive on New Year's Eve this year? Because I mean, is there going to be? Okay, well, we'll go with this first. So I got three of us. Thomas, you plan on driving, or you doing your other thing?
It's crossed my mind, and I'll tell you when you get to me what's crossing my mind with that.
Okay. Omar, I think Omar has been saying he's going to actually take off. He's not going to work New Year's Eve. You still feeling that way, Omar?
I'm still leaning that way, but this past week made me think, But
Yeah.
I'd like to do as much as I possibly can so that night doesn't make a difference. How about so?
Okay.
There's a possibility. There's a possibility.
I would
Oh.
say I
But like right now, gun to my head, I'm not working it. I'm gonna go spend time with family.
okay. Well, actually, I'm looking in the comments. There's several people that are like, "Nah, they ain't doing it."
Yeah, everybody in the comments, let us know. Are you gonna be
Yeah,
working?
you guys working New Year's
Okay, you
Eve?
know what? My answer, Vinny, is I'm waiting on the email, and you know what I mean. I'm waiting on the offer, and then that right there should be the nail, and that should be the hammer on the side of the head for all of us to say no, we're not working that.
Right. Yeah.
Right.
If you have to tell me that there's an incentivization and it's not just gonna surge, then that tells me you're not gonna pay me. I need to stay home.
They say every ride from like 9 to 1 or 9, like they're gonna pick a small bracket, a window, and just say plus 10, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Yep.
Yeah.
At that point, I'm gonna be rolling up to every fucking nightclub and be like, "Yo, I'll take you home for $150 straight
Because
up."
it's not gonna be a high number. It ain't gonna be like we're gonna give you an extra $35 or $40 a ride. Even then, are you still capping what I can make on Lux Plus?
Exactly. You're capping. Yep.
Last year.
I'm sorry.
I hope they don't do that.
It's like we're all gonna make $20 an hour.
And there's no guarantee that we're not going to get fare replacement on that bonus offer.
That is the key right there.
Yep.
The fare replacement. That's the key. Because
if you're not using a tool to analyze your
if you're gonna work New Year's and you're not gonna use Mistro, shame on you. Set that Mistro hourly rate as high as you possibly can.
Hold on. Time out, Brandon. Now, which is it? Now, 3 months ago, you and Para were having moonlight walks together across Lake Michigan up there. Okay,
So,
you and Para. Well, no. Let me finish. I got to get my roasting done here. Okay, let me get my roasting done here. Okay, you and Para were inseparable.
We were.
You and Para took blood tests.
I had regular chats with the executives.
Married. Yes, I understand. Para bought a whole gallon of lube because it had you bent over every night talking about out the balcony of yours. So, how did we get to Maestro?
Because currently, for some, Uber more than Lyft loves to change their coding to mess up these apps. And right now, Para is having an issue detecting Uber rides.
Yep.
I'm not having that.
So that's issue number one. Issue number two is that Mistro, unlike Para, can auto decline and auto accept rides. So I don't even have to look at the phone at all. It will tell me which one accepted, and it'll automatically switch to that screen, and it'll automatically turn off the other app. It does all the work for me.
So you're saying Maestro, whatever it is this week, is superior to Para, and it's working with both rideshare apps?
Yes, and apparently it also works with DoorDash and Grubhub, but I'm not sure how effective that's going to be with the way things are with food delivery right now.
Okay. I see Money Talk with Tristan's joined us. I don't think his question is, wouldn't it be better to take well-paying short rides and not simply highest paying?
I'm talking dollar. I'm talking about like dollar per hour.
Yeah.
Explain that. You and Steven are pretty well versed with that. Explain that to Tristan so he understands what you guys are talking about.
So So what I will do initially is I will evaluate the pings, and I will let Mistro show me, I'll see the hourly rate on them, and I'll decline them. It doesn't matter if it's good. It doesn't matter if it's extremely good or bad. I'm gonna evaluate them, and then I'm gonna be like, okay, well this ride's paying 120, this ride's paying 150, this ride's paying 180. Okay, so I haven't seen anything exceed 180, so I'm gonna set it to 160, and then a 160 an hour minimum, and then I'm gonna set like a very small radius circle so that I always stay in the hot zone.
Mhm.
So I won't take anything that's longer than like 4 or 5 miles.
Mhm.
And that's what I'll have it set at. That way I can avoid the long trips, so I don't have any dead time, because dead time on New Year's Eve is going to be your worst enemy.
Isn't
Uh,
isn't Maestro? I always called it Maestro. Isn't
It's
Maestro
Maestro.
Gary Middleton at? No, I'm just asking. Is that
I
who
don't know.
Middleton
Yeah, I don't
Technology?
know.
I'm going to find out. If it's from Gary, maybe we can bring him in. Maybe we can do something in the Discord so those that are interested in the app can do a full breakdown tutorial on the app, and it'll be there for people that are interested in that kind of thing. You know what I'm saying? Because
So like,
it's one thing to talk about it, but like Nick, our Nick down here, I forget what night it was, Saturday or Sunday. He was playing around with the Para app, and it wasn't, he never used it before. So while he was setting his parameters, it got kind of confusing to him, and he got a little off because he wasn't getting any requests or wouldn't let any rides come through.
that's why you obviously, just like doing anything regular, you have to know where the hotspots are, and you you
Oh,
you
he was
have
in a hotspot. That wasn't the issue. It was his first time using it. Was the issue?
Yeah, if you set it too, that's why I need to look at the first few rides and see kind of what they're averaging. Because if you set it too high, yeah, you're not going to get anything. Like I could set it to $300 an hour, and I might get one ping in an hour because I get one request that's going a half mile, and with the $40 surge. But that's the only ride that's going to meet their criteria. So obviously, I have to lower it to the point where I can, it'll only decline maybe 4, 5, or 6 rides very rapidly until it gets one that meets that criteria. Because it's extremely critical during those peak hours, if you're going to drive during New Year's, that you make as much as possible. Just because it's like,
Mhm.
oh, well, this ride pays more than $60 an hour. That's way more than I used to make. No, you got to wait a little bit. Even if you have to, because like it doesn't matter what ride type you have, every ride type is going to be exploding like crazy.
Mhm.
Well, we
Even
hope it's going to be exploding like crazy. That's a hope.
okay,
Right.
so obviously I mean, at least here it started last year. I started at 11 and it ended at like 4 or 5. So
We start
um
way earlier than that.
Wow.
We start
Wow.
way earlier than that.
I think
well,
mine.
okay,
Yeah.
no, what I mean,
Wow,
what I
bro.
mean, no, what I mean is that the peak, the absolute peak,
Usually
obviously,
around,
like,
between 10 and 11:30.
yeah,
That's the peak.
that's what I mean. That's when that's when like every ride was given like $30 to $40 surges on
Right.
Uber. Every ride, on Lyft was like 20 to 50 back when it was $50 surges. So, um, you know, adjust accordingly. If you start getting pings where every single a ride you request to get is passing your metrics, you need to bump that up. And,
Right.
and until it takes about maybe 4 to 10
Right.
requests for a ride to meet your criteria. That's the
Right.
sweet
I
spot.
had too many rides coming in last week. I was like, this is crap. Nope. Let me go up. $60 an hour. Nope. $62 an hour. 65 an hour. I was like, I had to keep going up. I was just
Hey,
What's your-
Melvin, it's possible. It's possible. I hope not, but we could definitely end up in that situation. And if I see that, I'm not driving.
Well, I have, based off, I had to take last year, New Year's Eve, and categorize it by itself, because the previous 3 years we were in the pause, right? So that was a whole different animal, where the money left South Beach and moved to Fort Lauderdale. right? All the money was in Fort Lauderdale, Las Olas. Broward County was wide open. South Beach was deader than a doornail, right? And then years previous to that, South Beach and Wynwood was where it was at. So I'm going to go by last year and something Scott said, and I'm going to reiterate again, something Brandon knows. Oh, I think everybody on the panel knows. Go where the money normally is. Don't try to make it. Don't force it.
Oh, also with Mistro comes with the heat map, and that heat map will show you where all the rides are based on the other Mistro users in your area, and this Mistro heat map works nationwide. So the more people that use it, the better it is for everybody, because then you'll know everything is red is where you want to be. You don't want to be outside the red.
All right. So Silver Fox is saying Para does read the trip radar, but Maestro doesn't.
Right. So basically, when trip radar trips come in, Para can actually see them, and it will give you the breakdown of those rides where Maestro will not.
Well, like I said, so it's something it's a good idea. I guess we just need to test them out. Maybe I don't know. I deleted Para off my phone because it was pissing me off. It was pissing me off. It was pissing me off with login. I kept trying to log in. It kept telling me no, wrong password, this, that, and the other. I go through the whole thing. Bro, after 20 minutes, if I got to sit there and fight with your app, fuck your app. I don't need your app. I know how to cherry pick just fine. My eyes can read the math. Plenty goddamn. Yep. Okay, I'm good at math. All right.
Yeah.
Vinny, you're setting yourself up, man. I'm just saying.
What? How am I setting myself up? Tell me how I'm setting. Let's go down that road, Omar. It's 10:37. How am I setting myself up?
Then he's sitting in his car with his abacus, fucking doing math.
God damn.
God damn it! These apps need to give me more time to calculate the trip.
I got nothing.
Wow.
97, 98, 198 per mile. This is my standard. I'm going.
Yep.
Just remember, buddy, you were at Basel Saturday and I wasn't. We made the same money. You were out longer than I was Saturday by a couple hours, and we made the exact same money Saturday. So kiss my lily white. I don't want to hear it.
I made more than you last week on the app. Take cash out, and I made more than you on the app.
Yeah, but you also worked a lot more than I did on the app.
Not really. I mean, I guess
not really. It's real easy to
because you leave your house, you go scratch your ass, you go to Wawa, you go do all this crap for like 2-3 hours, and then you be like, all right, now I'm online.
Yeah, I gotta psych myself up. What are you talking about?
Takes you 2 to 3 hours to psych yourself up?
Sometimes. Shit.
Like I literally woke up, got in my truck, and drove to Miami. That was it. That would be setting up.
And we smelt you all the way up here from down there. I get it. It's understandable, But I'm just saying, you worked a lot more than I did last week on the apps. You did. You put in more time. God bless you. You should have made more money. I'm not knocking you. I'm just saying our per hour rate is going to be about the same, even with your cash.
I doubt
even
that.
with your cash. But you know what? Listen, you can't hang with that anyway, so don't worry about it. I know mine's bigger. You'll be all right. Anyway, so yeah, I would think this. I don't think the surges are going to be that great. So what are we considering? Are we considering making the same money we made last year? Do we think we're going to make?
I'm going to put a hell of a lot more effort into hustling private rides this year. A hell of a lot.
Friends and family, I don't blame you.
Well, for me, it's not friends and family. For me, I can legally say it's private rides.
Legally. Shut the F up.
Him and Scott. Well, you know what? You know what I like about Scott?
Hey, you know what? For New Year's Eve, y'all do the same shit too. Fuck it, man. I hope.
Yeah, rent a Model Y and Toro. Yeah.
I hope what happened to me last year doesn't happen to you guys. That's all I gotta say.
What was that?
Where the surge disappeared.
That's what happened to him last year. 29%. That's what happened.
The surge disappeared for 4 hours during peak hours.
I got news for you. I'm telling you, it's not going to be there. That surge is not going to be there this year like it was in the past.
Like,
Not
that-
even close.
If it's
little
not there,
things
I
like,
won't
you know,
know.
it's again, it's all the stuff now, you know. Gosh, Brandon's traumatizing me here, right? I remember that. I remember
Yeah.
reading about it on the Discord. You were livid, bro.
Yep.
And I was like, damn, I thought I was having a bad night. And so stuff like that happens. Like,
And the funny thing is
I'm a
that we
very
pretty much
peaceful person,
all
and
we,
I
we
might
pretty much
lose
all
it.
made the same amount of money.
You made 1,000?
Like, I kicked somebody out of my car last year. I was just,
Yeah, I
very
ended up
livid,
with
man.
like 900.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, Steven, you kicked his ass last year. You did, brother. I know you did. You know, I know you did. Don't worry about
I mean,
it.
you're in LA and you have Select. You have Select. How can I compete with Select?
Hey, I
You're
just
in
got.
Chicago.
I
and you
literally
got
got
black. What the
Select.
hell?
Look, I literally got Select like 3 months ago, man.
Emotional damage.
I only get to use it for 5 minutes before January 4th when they take it
Yeah,
away
and you
from
better
me.
be on Select only in New Year's Eve too. Milk
Hey.
the shit.
I'll try. But if I'm not getting rides,
Well, that's the thing. I mean, and I'm just saying, bro. I don't know what to expect. I seriously thought about not driving New Year's Eve, but if I do that, I think it'll be a disservice just to what we do. So that's probably the reason why I'm going to drive. I'm
I'm not
like,
going to be doing
bro,
anything special, so I need to take that time. That's a good opportunity to make money if they don't take it away from us. So.
I'm disappointed. I'm disappointed in doing this enough. I don't need one night in particular to be extra disappointed.
Look, I just want to be. I want to be on my grind when I know that there's going to be a bunch of people out looking to spend
I'd rather
money
just
and
be
not
doing
think about
something
it.
that I
it'll
want to
be- but
do.
see, yeah, but see,
And
here's
then the next day, I just, I go back online. It's the same bullshit.
See, here's the thing, bro. Here's the thing. Riders are still going to get charged the same amount of money they got charged last year and the year before that, and the year before that. Actually, they're up a little bit, right? In the last 4 years, it's shown, the article's shown that Uber has, raised what they're charging drivers. Not as much. It's like
Charging
like this.
passengers.
Yeah, but the passengers are still paying out the ass for the rides.
Yeah,
So
Buddha, you're gonna be doing many black SUV pings, right, Buddha? Right, Buddha?
Buddha, he's gonna beat you with a pizza box, bro. You better watch yourself, man.
Try to get something spicy about it.
Yeah. Anyway,
I wonder, like, how is this affecting anybody else that does any other gig work? Like, because New Year's things close. What day is it actually this year? Let me look at the calendar.
New Year's Eve.
Yeah.
Dude, there's gonna be restaurants open,
Sunday.
and there's
Shit,
gonna be
it's
plenty.
Sunday. Oh.
See, and now this is what's going to be unfair about this holiday, right? Because we're going to have Thursday, Friday, Saturday,
Right.
and then Sunday.
Yep.
So now everybody's going to work more and be like, "Oh, I made a whole bunch of blah, blah, blah," and not realize that on Sunday night, right up the backside, no Vaseline. I just looked at that myself. That's exactly what's going to happen. Son of a bitch.
Good thing I said that. I was like, what day is it? Right. Yeah.
Well, you think about it, right? Your flights coming in and going out are going to start on Thursday, right?
Which
They're going to party Friday night. They're going to party Saturday night. New Year's Eve is Sunday night. And ain't nobody going to work on the first.
Friday. There's going to be tons of partying. Yeah.
That's what I mean.
Yeah.
You're gonna have people wide open for 4 days.
Scott, will you do slingshot? Like you do take Uber rides?
Yeah. Like
So
right,
you'll run slingshots by taking passengers into the airport and getting a new ride out.
Yeah. So if I get a ride from Orange County into LAX, I will. Well, first I'll say my little spill to whoever's in the car. My little. I have like a small little paragraph I tell everyone, and it could be full of crap that I'm telling them, but they don't know that. They just love it, and then I'll drop them off, give them my card, and then I'll get another ride out of there. That's perfect. All right, we're done. And then LAX.
But that's the only way you deal with the airport.
Yeah, and then but for John Wayne, you'll get a ride to John Wayne. You won't get a ride out.
Okay.
That's the one thing they will. It's so rare to get a ride out of there.
Is it just because it's not as active?
it's just a small airport, and there's a lot of flights that come in, but it's just not that busy. When I did XL, I would drop off families that were going from Disneyland into John Wayne, pick up a family that's going into Disneyland. So it'd be just a back and forth, back and forth. So
Because Santa Barbara's airport's pretty small, but it seems like it's pretty active.
yeah. Like for us, like the only airports, if I was an actual like Uber X or Uber XL driver, is I would just strictly just go up to LAX if I wanted to. So
Really? 'Cause
yeah,
I thought there was no point in doing it just because there's so many drivers there. I mean, the lots are literally filled.
yeah. Like
400
I'll
plus cars.
tell you right now what.
What the hell happened with James?
He
He
must
might have been on data.
Oh, okay. No, not Scott. I'm talking about James. James has a strange comment in the bottom here, all of a sudden on the screen. I don't know what that is about, James. I'm sorry, sir. Whatever we did.
70.
It might just be spam. So that's actually good if we're getting spam.
No. That's
Like-
James. He's one of our guys.
So looking at downtown Miami right now, it's barely any color after a Heat game. I mean, I used to last year, especially when we got into the playoffs, the Heat games were so profitable for me. It's a joke. And you know me, Vinny. I love going down there. I love working it.
Yep. You get
I know how to work it.
pizza,
I got a golden spot that puts me on the highway. I pick up people or I get them to walk to me. I'm on the highway. I'm gone. No traffic, no nothing. I don't want to go down there. It's a joke. I can't
What
even.
you're saying
imagine
is you pay a
what the
security guard $20 to let you out the side.
Huh?
What you're saying is you pay.
No. He's got a
Oh.
spot down there, bro. He's got a golden position down there. And it's like he says, you guys got to realize, in down there in front of the Heat Arena, they shut down one of the main street. They shut down the one direction, so you got to be on the other side of it before they lock it down. And so he's in a good spot where he does well down there. I give him that. Like, I give credit where credit's due.
Nice.
You know, and he doesn't have to hide like under one of the manhole covers because he can just kind of walk under it. No, he can actually stand up fully and be as high as an ant down there. But he does good.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, it's just now there's no surge. Okay, so that was fake news. Look at that. It's all gray now.
Yep, I had already looked at it. Airports are loaded up. No color on the map on either app right now. But it is Wednesday night, bro. It is Wednesday night. There was something I wanted to bring up that I just want to get you guys' feeling on it. How do you guys like it when you're driving and your Lyft app keeps doing this, zooming in and zooming out? I see Brandon mentioned it. I thought the whole idea was don't mess with your app while you're driving.
Yeah.
But yet they keep zooming it in and out, in and out, in and out. What do you guys think about that?
I love Lyft. It's my favorite application, and I take all the rides.
I just wish that they would stop showing me those rides when I'm on black only. Like, bro, get the fucking point. I'm not doing a Lyft basic ride in a 23 Cadillac Escalade ESV Premium Luxury. Like, go suck a dick. I don't care. I don't care how you make it look. I don't care if there's 50 rides available in my area. I'm not doing this. So stop zooming in and out trying to get my fucking attention.
And you know what kills me is those rides take you away from your rides. I can't tell you how many times I missed an SUV ping. I was sitting right there because the damn thing moved to show me a $2 ride.
Yep.
Very rarely do I see Lux Black pings unless I have a radius filter on, and then those Lux Black pings are going to areas that I don't want to go to anyways.
No, they show up.
Well, it's just here it is. Bear
I
Claw.
only see them at events.
It's annoying as hell because I got to sit there and center. I'm looking at where I'm going, not where I was, and this thing's taking me way back, and it doesn't move you back. It's like it doesn't move you back to your natural location. Pisses me off. I just thought I would mention that. Anyway, all right, guys, it is 10:50. We covered a lot of stuff tonight, so I'm going to start us off early with the tip of the week. And since Scott is the newest member of the garage that's been on the stream now, Scott, I'm going to give you the first shot, buddy. You got a tip of the week for us? For everybody in the chat?
For the next 3 weeks or so, everyone should actually get their finances correct for the next 3 to 4 months of the slow season. So these last three weeks, make sure you guys can pay off all your bills that you can. And so when we get into the downside of Uber and Lyft, we're not that stressed, because stress will eat us alive in the next 3 months. So if we can all do that, that's perfect. Less stress, and then you're happier.
Get thin, get lean, yes sir.
Mm-hmm.
Yes sir. I agree. All right, Brandon, what you got, buddy?
I would advise against buying a vehicle, no matter how long you plan on doing Lyft and Uber for RideShare. Lease, it doesn't matter if you're doing Black or Basic or XL. Lease, so that you always have the option of backing out and not having a massive $20,000-$30,000 bill for no reason anymore. I can back out on Monday, and I owe nobody nothing. You know, when I was doing the stupid experiments switching between rides all the time, every time I did it, I lost between $5,000 and $20,000. Now, given I can afford to do that, and I did it for science, but I'm just showing it to prove a point that I can wholeheartedly agree with the fact that you should not buy a vehicle just to do rideshare. If you're going to do rideshare, I advise to lease it. Lease your car, so that if something gets so bad to the point where it's no longer worth driving, you can just turn in the keys and move on and have no additional debt.
Okay. So I'm going to liken that. I thought a lot about that, Brandon, exactly what you're saying, for that exact reason. You know, we always preached on here, never buy a car that you can't afford without Uber or Lyft. That's always been the garage's mantra. But now, if you look at it as it's just a tool, and these are the tools you need to do the job, then why go spend $50,000, $60,000 on a damn car or an SUV when you can just rent it? And like you say, if it gets upside down, you can just give it back. No big deal. Move on, find something else, and you're not trapped for the next 5 to 7 years, because now they do 7-year car notes, right, on some of these damn cars. So I agree with Brandon there. Rent what you own and rent where you live. That's the Grant Cardone way. If you guys don't know that, go check out Grant Cardone. That's what he always says. Rent what you own and rent where you live. That way you can always make money on what you own, and you can always leave on a dime from where you live. Okay, let's go with Omar. Tip of the week there, brother. Don't be a Jets fan. Go ahead.
I will be. I would say that we definitely, life is so full of everything that's forward in front of you, everything that's behind you, and it's just everything's happening so fast, and information comes to us so quickly, and before you know it, and I think anybody that's a parent will probably agree with me. Before you know it, you're like, man, what the hell happened? So every once in a while, as much as we all work and as much as life is a fucking grind, just gotta stop and just look at what's in front of you and what's around you and go and just appreciate it. Because yeah, life can suck sometimes, and yeah, these apps can suck the life out of you sometimes. But again, if you just stop for a moment and realize, hey, you know what, I own that, and yeah, I work for this, and just, I guess, be thankful for the little things or the big things, whatever it is, you know. If you took a vacation this year, say to yourself, "Damn, how did I do that? How can I do it again?" So don't get too ahead and don't get too down. So that would be my tip of the week.
All right. Stevie Ray Vaughan, what you got, buddy?
If you're gonna go, shout out to Richie. If you're gonna replace a headlight or a tail light, make sure you get a set and replace them both.
Oh no, you didn't go there.
Facts.
Nice, simple, to the point. Also,
Even
if you
if you
haven't
don't
had,
replace them, both, buy 2 of them.
We Richie hustles. He drives a he drives XL and X and Lyft and Lyft XL. Anyway, he's got a Durango and his headlight went out, and it took him like a month to replace the headlight.
3 months.
First of all. And then when he replaced the headlight, he was like, yeah. And then like an hour later, guys, you're not going to believe this. The other fucking headlight went out. Well, no shit, Sherlock. They average hours. It's not exact hours. If one goes, replace them both. That's always been. So anyway.
and the stuff runs in a series. Usually, if you get some part that fails in a series and you replace that one part, now the surge that goes through that part to the next part, it's going to be stronger. So you're going to be surprised when the next thing pops. Have replacements for everything.
Right. And then he got the headlights done. And then all of a sudden the taillights or the blinkers went. So he's going to do one side of the blinker and not the other. It's just like, what the fuck, bro? Just replace. As Steven said, if one headlight goes, get them both because the other one's right behind it.
And he also got pulled over by the police. But, white privilege.
Ooh, oh, my God. Oh, no, you didn't just go there. Oh.
He didn't get a ticket.
There went the show. There went the show. That's it, fellas. We'll never be here again, so we're going to get in the final shots now as we can. Anyway, Steven, can you throw up the link to the Discord? We're going to get ready to shut this one down, go move over to the after show in the Discord. We're going to do our weekly elbow room live while everybody gets in there and just chops it up and has a good time with it. My tip of the week is simply this, man. Always have a plan. Always have a plan. Never settle, never get comfortable, because on the drop of a dime, life can switch up on you. So keep your chin up. Don't get depressed. If this ain't working for you, find something else, bro. But whatever you do, don't give up. Don't give up. Just don't give up. And with that said, we are out of here, y'all. Thank you, Scott, for joining us. First time, but certainly not the last time. And, yeah, we'll see you boys later.
Pow.